and God protected the Israelites and guided them through the desert. Oh, I didn't see you there. Hi, welcome. I was just reading a Bible story. Would you like to join me in my Bible story? That would be great. After all, it's hard to get out and go places these days, you know what I mean? Okay, so I was just reading the story about how God got the Israelites out of Egypt and saved them after they were there as slaves. And I was just getting to one of my favorite parts when they cross the Red Sea. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let me back up and let me catch you up on the story where I'm at right now. So, if you didn't know, God's people, also called the Israelites, the people of Israel, they were slaves for Egypt. This is a long, long time ago. And they, one day, God sent this guy named Moses to tell the Pharaoh, who's like the king of Egypt, to let his people go. So he went and he said, God says, let my people go. But Pharaoh wasn't a very nice guy. And he said, no, I won't let your people go. Look at all the work I'm making them do for me. I need them to do the work. I won't let them go. So then God sent a lot of bad things to happen to Israel. They had very bad things called plagues, and very bad stuff happened. And finally, after all those bad things happened, the Pharaoh said, okay, I will let God's people go. And so he let the people go, and they started wandering through the desert. And that's just where I was. I was just at that part of the story. So when they got to that part of the story, what happens is they're wandering through the desert. And then after, even though he said they could go, Pharaoh started regretting it. And he started being upset that he let God's people go, because he realized, well, who's going to do all this work they were doing? I want them back. And he regretted his decision. He thought he should get them back. So he got his chariots, which were like their cars, you know, they pulled by horses, and he said, all right, let's go. We're going to go get them back. We're going to go get the Israelites back. Well, that wasn't really the right thing to do. So God said, I'm going to protect my people. But see, here's the thing. The Israelites were walking there, and they found out that Pharaoh and his people were coming after them, and they got afraid. They didn't think God was going to protect them, even though he got them all the way to where they were. They didn't think that God was going to protect them. They were afraid. They were scared. And so, but then Moses said, don't be afraid. God's going to protect us. He'll take care of us. And then they came to this water, and it was a big, it looked like an ocean. And it was really big, and they didn't know how they were going to get across. They're like, we can't even see the other side. How are we going to get across the water? And we're stuck. They're going to catch up to us, and they're going to catch us, and they're going to take us back. Or worse, they'll do something worse to us. And so they were afraid, but Moses said, God will protect us. And God told Moses, he said, reach out your staff. He had a big stick. And he said, reach out your staff and I will part the water. And he reached out his staff, and God parted the water. The water separated. It was like two big walls of water going up. And it was so that they could walk across and the land was dry. I mean, it looked like a special effect from a movie. It looked like something you'd see in a movie. It wasn't from a movie, though. It was real. It was real. God really did it. And so they walked across on the dry land. But the problem was Pharaoh's people were still coming after them. And so they walked across the water. And it says here that they were almost across the water. And Pharaoh's people were catching up with them. And they got in the water too. They were in between the big walls they were crossing too. And the Israelites got across. And God told Moses, he said, the Egypts have done wrong things to you. And they should have not treated my people so badly. And because Pharaoh decided to try and come back after my people, he's going to be punished. And so the Egyptians and their chariots got right in the middle of the water, right in the big middle of the ocean, right where the walls were on each side of them, the walls of water, and they were trying to catch them. And God told Moses, he said, I want you to raise your staff again. And so after they got across and all the Israelites were saved, he raised up his staff again, and the water come crashing down, and it killed all of the Egyptians that were chasing after them. They died. And God protected his people like he said he would, because God always comes through for us. He always wants what's best for us. And so he protected them. He let them walk on dry land, and he protected them safe and sound. And they weren't hurt at all. They were safe, and the land was dry for them. But the Egyptians, they weren't okay. God decided that it was time for them to go because they'd been so mean to the Israelites. So the water crashed down on them, and it killed them. And so, I mean, it sounds like something out of a movie, but it's not. It's real. It really happened. And it's an amazing thing that God protected the Israelites and kept them safe. And of course, the Israelites weren't done yet. They had a long journey still left ahead of them, but God protected them the rest of the way too, and ultimately got them to the place that He told them He would take them to safely. But this is one of my favorite parts of the story because it sounds so crazy and so amazing that God would part the ocean and make two big walls, but He really did it. Now, obviously, we can't show you what it would look like to part two big walls of water. That would be crazy. But what we're gonna do is, this is kind of like a new thing I'm trying. If you don't know, on the side, I'm a scientist. So we're going to show you an experiment you can do at home, and that you can see what it looks like when the Red Sea parts. And we call this segment Jasperments. I think that's funny. But we'll send it over to, well, me and my cousin. She helped me with the experiment. But we'll show you that experiment, and then I'll be back in just a second. Isn't that right, Mr. Snuffles? Yeah. Okay, see you in a second. Hello, and welcome to this segment of the show that we call Jasperments. Because, you know, like Jasper and experiments. Anyway, Jasperments. Okay, anyway, today we are talking about an experiment where it looks like you part the Red Sea. Because our lesson today is all about how the Lord parted the Red Sea for Moses and the Israelites to cross. So, we are going to need some things to do this experiment. So first, let us explain what you're going to need for this experiment. First, you're going to take a plate, preferably a paper plate, so it's got a little bit of a ridge, and you're gonna fill it up with some water. Okay, so we've already got our paper plate filled with water. The next thing you're gonna need is you're gonna need a straw, you're gonna need some sort of red food coloring, and you're gonna need some pepper. Also, and this is very important, you also need to get your smallest bottle of Dawn dishwashing liquid, okay? So, that's what we're gonna need. Now, before we get started, I have helping me today, my cousin, Esperanza Espinoza. Say hello to everyone, Esperanza. Okay, so she's gonna be helping me in putting these ingredients together to make this experiment. So, let's zoom in on our plate, and we'll show you what we're gonna do. So the first thing we're gonna do is we got to color it red, because we're talking about the Red Sea. Now, the Red Sea is not actually red, but we're gonna color it red anyway. So I'm gonna put a little bit of red in here. Just a little bit, there we go, okay. And then we're gonna stir it up. Esperanza, do you wanna mix that up? Don't use that, just use your finger. And be careful not to color your fingers, or if you do, wash them real fast after doing this. Okay, and now we've got it all mixed up. Our sea is nice and red, okay, for Red Sea. All right, and then immediately wash your hands. Esperanza's gonna wash your hands. Next, we're gonna take pepper. Don't say it like paper. Pepper, we're gonna take pepper and we're gonna sprinkle just a little bit on the top here, enough to kind of cover it. So here we're gonna sprinkle it on top of our water, our Red Sea. Now this is gonna kind of act like the top of our water. The pepper is gonna act like the part of the Red Sea that we're gonna part. So here we got a lot, we want enough in there to be able to see something happen. Okay, now, and this is the most important step. You're gonna take your straw. Now you can use other things besides a straw. I'm gonna use a straw so that I don't have to worry about spreading anything from my fingers or anything like that. So you're just gonna take your straw and you're gonna put a little tiny dab of dish soap or dishwashing liquid. There's just a little bit, just on the tip of it there. Okay. And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna stick it right down, right in the middle of our Red Sea. And watch what happens. It'll part the Red Sea. Here we go. Just a little teensy bit. Whoa! And the Red Sea has parted. Okay? Now, obviously, when God parted the Red Sea for Moses and the Israelites, he actually separated the waters, and it was like two big, tall walls so that they could walk through, and it was completely dry. Now, obviously, we can't lift the water up and separate it because, that's only something that God can do for us. But this is a cool way to see it, is how we separate the pepper, like God separated the water of the Red Sea. So, that is our Just Experiments. You can try this at home. It's pretty simple, and you just follow the instructions we showed you there. That is it for this segment of Just Experiments. Say bye, Esperanza. And I will turn it back over to, me, and we'll wrap up today's lesson. Thank you. Bye-bye now. Oh, you're back. It's good to see you again. So, did you like that experiment? Yeah, I did too. I thought it was pretty cool. So, I hope you enjoyed today's lesson and the experiment. And I hope that you'll be able to maybe even do this experiment or some kind of craft or something that has to do with today's lesson. And I hope that you're staying safe out there. I hope to see you guys again really soon. And remember, God will protect you no matter what comes your way. He's going to take care of you. Even if a lot of people are getting sick and crazy things like that, God's still going to take care of you. Or even if it seems like there's a big ocean in your way and you can't cross, he can separate the water just for you, because that's what God does for us. He protects us. So, I hope to see you guys real soon, and take care. Be safe out there. Now, I'm going to go finish reading this story to Mr. Snuffles. Bye-bye now. And so, when God let the Israelites pass through the ocean,